The following program contains graphic calls to personal responsibility. If you are addicted to the system, Randall may not be right for you. Check with your local welfare office.
Proclaiming the truth in the highways and byways of the world. Fighting for justice in the dark alleys of politics. Raising the voice of resistance to a fevered pitch. And he knows where to find the best and worst jail food in America. Randall Terry.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back from Israel. We have some of the most incredible footage that we're going to show you, but not today. We are going to talk about the Republican debate in the Reagan Library. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Today's program brought to you in part by the Castle Anthrax, where deluded women are trying to seduce voters, pretending to be political candidates while they do so. And by Star Trek, in its 45th year on television and in a movie series. The Republican debate, highly illogical. I'll be right back after a word from my friend, Sir Reginald Bling. Reggie, take it away, baby! Just turn the thing on, I got something to say. Yeah, that's what most preachers in America is like. Because the government says, oh no, you cannot talk about politics and politicians and legislation. You cannot say this is a bad man, don't vote for him. This is a good man, vote for him. You have to just shut your mouth and go. So let me ask you something. Who is Lord of that preacher? Is it Caesar or Jesus? Is it Uncle Sam or the Lord our God? You cannot serve two masters. So here's the deal. If you want to be a 501c3 panty-waist tax-exempt organization that gets a little trinket from Caesar, then go on about your business, but don't you dare say that Jesus is Lord of your pulpit, because you are saying and doing what Uncle Sam wants you to do, not the king of the universe. Welcome to the show. It was not a cockfight. Maybe it was a chicken fight. Did you see the debate? I encourage you to go online, if you missed it, and watch the Republican debate that happened at the Reagan Library. I'm going to analyze it from different angles than most of the commentators, but one of the harsher, and I mean harsh, comments that I heard was that it was like watching a bunch of paraplegics fighting over a toothbrush. Now, I think that that's an unfair statement. It's an unkind statement because there's a lot of paraplegics that have worked very hard to live a life where they are happy and where they're blessed. Now, these candidates, on the other hand, what were they doing? What were they saying? They were trying to stay out of trouble. Michelle Bachmann looked like she was, God love her, in the middle of one of her what are those headaches called again? Migraines. She just kind of stood there like this. And she had enough hairspray on her hair to create her own hole in the ozone layer, all right? She was rigid. She was stiff. We're going to come back to Michelle. Rick Perry, Romney, All right, let's go over. Let's talk about this. All right, first let's talk about the way they had them laid out. Partly I was agitated, but what they did was they put the front runners in the center. So on front or center left, if you're watching, was Romney. Center right was Perry. Ooh, now you've got the two governors duking it out. They're both handsome. They both have a striking suit. Let's talk about them for a minute. Romney is a preppy boy, okay? Perry, on the other hand, you look at Perry and you think, man, he could pull a gun out at any time and shoot someone. On the other hand, Romney would look like, call security, call security. He's too preppy. You want a candidate that, if he's a guy, is charming like Ronald Reagan, but tough like Reagan. You know what I mean? He's hacking his own wood. He's jumping in the water to save people. Romney, no, not there. Makes me a little nervous to look at him. Too much hairspray. Perry, he had it going on at that level. The problem is that Perry's not that smart, okay? Perry's not that smart. Now, Romney's over here going, I've got a plan. I have a plan. Go to my website and read my plan. I can fix the economy. I'm a highbrow fascist. Don't you know who I am? Perry, on the other hand, is, I believe in God. I'm not sure where he lives, and I'm not sure if I'm able to serve him and keep people like Planned Parenthood out of the state. And the very fact that Texas is on fire could be the judgment of God. That means nothing to me. But I stick by my Ponzi scheme statement. To Perry's credit, he stuck by the Ponzi scheme statement. You know what I'm talking about? In his book, he said that Social Security is like a Ponzi scheme. He's right. He's right. You're paying in. You ain't going to get your money out. And you might die and never see a dime of it. Anyway, at least Governor Perry had the guts to stand by that. To his credit. All right, let's go the next two people out. On the other side, Michelle Bachmann. Over here, Ron Paul. Ron Paul, between Ron Paul and Newt Gingrich, you had the best content answers. In my opinion, Ron Paul's were far better. But his delivery, as always, is a little choppy. He's over there taking notes and he's trying to get too much said. But what was really funny was that here he is, right next to Perry. And he's being polite. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. The Ronald Reagan Library and the Republican debate, sponsored by Politico. Go to the commercial, and there's Ron Paul, boom, 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 just throttling Perry. Have you seen the new Ron Paul ad? Google it. If you haven't seen it, you've got to watch it. He pummels the man, showing him as a Democrat endorsing Al Gore. You just had to love it. So anyway, you had Ron Paul. He did a decent job, but he could have done better. But that's Ron Paul. That's the problem. He's just never shined in any debates. Content rich, delivery poor. Now you see what I just did there is I gave you a bumper sticker. There wasn't a person there last night that gave a memorable line. Think about it. Did you hear anything that jumped out at you? There were a couple lines that were said by Gingrich that got some decent applause. There was nothing that brought the house down from really anyone else. So let's go to Michelle Bachmann. In my opinion, last night, Michelle Bachmann was the big loser. And I like Michelle Bachmann. Let me state this for the record. She should have been running away with this. She should have ran away with it. But she was too stiff. She delivered no knockout punches. She didn't give any really awesome quotable lines. There was no sizzle there. Get rid of Ed Rollins, okay? He's no longer the campaign manager. He needs to be fired. Did you see him on MSNBC afterwards? I'm going to come back in our next break and I'm going to talk about that. This man is treacherous, people. So poor Michelle should have ran away with it, didn't pull it off. All right, then you had on the other far end, you had Rick Santorum. I'm sorry, Newt Gingrich, then Santorum. Gingrich, as I said, did a pretty good job, good answers, articulate. It's clear why he was the Speaker of the House. Good giftings in leadership and rhetoric and logic. Some of his premises are flawed because he is a big government socialist. Rick Santorum didn't do well. It did not impress me. I like Rick Santorum. He stuttered a lot. He had kind of a winced look on his face, like he was trying hard to pull his thoughts together. Afterwards, he was interviewed by Chris Matthews. Did great in the interview. Looked good on camera, smiling. Wish he could have looked like that when he was on stage. It would have helped him a lot. He was not helped by the debate. All right. To the other side of Ron Paul, you had, help me out, guys. You had Herman Cain, who did a great job, good answers, and then you had Satan. I'm sorry, John Huntsman. John Huntsman is basically Satan incarnate. Did you see him? He kept giving the evil eye, saying he believes in science. And that almost brought on the Inquisition. When we come back from this break, we'll talk about the Inquisition that almost happened last night. Do you believe in science? Do you believe in evolution or not?
Randall and I were watching a presidential broadcast when he turned to me and said, "How can I express my contempt for this man without using language too foul for broadcast?" I said, "That's easy, Randall. Just say, Johnson is a perfect example of why there's so many more of those than there are of horses."
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylea Health and Energy. I've been making superb nutritional supplements for over 15 years, and from day one, I've partnered with Randall Terry, helping to fund his invaluable work in reclaiming our country's biblical and godly roots. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives since its inception.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 essential areas of nutrition your body needs on a daily basis. Each serving of the Total Living Drink provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, enzymes for better digestion and nutrient absorption, protein for building lean muscle mass so you can burn more fat for fuel, probiotics for better intestinal function, herbs for building energy and stamina, antioxidants for maximum immune function and disease prevention, and all the vitamins and minerals you need for slowing down aging and maximum health. You would have to take 30 to 40 capsules each day and spend almost $10 a day to match the over 30,000 milligrams of total nutrition in each scoop of the Total Living Drink. Order right now and get started on the amazing Total Living Drink. They come in 2 delicious flavors, Total Living Drink Greens and Total Living Drink Berry. And every single dollar we receive, we give a generous amount to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Visit us online at the address on your screen and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today, and for the daily price of a latte, you can get back on the road to better health and energy with Kylea's Total Living Drink.
Moments with Moses. If you walk in my statutes and observe my commandments and do them, I will make my abode among you, and my soul shall not abhor you.
Wake up! The Republican debates last night were just not what they could and should have been. All right, this is what it was about. Not making a mistake. And guess what? Poor Michelle Bachmann. Oh, I'll talk more about her and Ed Rounds in the next segment. Oh, Michelle, if somehow you see this, please stop trying to not make mistakes. Stop trying to look presidential. Give us that sizzle that I know you've got. You know who I wish was on that stage last night? Sarah Palin. I want Sarah Palin to get in. She will mix it up. She will make it fun. All right. Do you believe in evolution? Or do you believe in creation? Are you one of those Bible-thumping, lunatic, religious freak people that believe in God created heaven and earth in 6 days? Or do you believe in science? And are you intelligent? Do you know that after decades of propaganda, that only 25% of Americans believe in evolution? Did you know that? That's how many people still believe that God made heaven and earth in 6 days and that we don't have monkeys in our family tree. So, John Huntsman, Satan, a.k.a. Satan, was up there. Somehow or another, evolution came up and global warming came up. And John Huntsman said, well, we need good science. 98% of respectable scientists, blah, 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 blah. Look, Johnny boy, go home. Don't play in this tent, okay? I know that Lee Atwater and others said that it's a big tent, but you know what? You're a problem child. We don't want you in the tent. Go away. Go be with your pagan atheist friends, whoever it is that you want to hang out with. But don't waste our time as a Republican candidate saying that you think that global warming is true and that Al Gore is right and that God didn't make heaven and earth in 6 days, but it took millions and millions of years. But it almost turned into an inquisition. People, thank goodness, after the fact, Rick Santorum in his interview stood up for creation, which was good. I couldn't figure out what Perry was doing or not doing. That was what was weird. In other words, Perry now looks like, oh, poor me, I'm the persecuted Christian. But I didn't hear anything that rang my bell. I didn't hear him go, I believe that God made heaven and earth, and I think that evolution is just plain bad science. And he didn't give any reasons about species not mutating or since when does the genetic code of a species degenerate, because whenever you see genetic mutation, it's a degeneration, right? Things get worse. When do you see a degeneration resulting in a new species emerging that's better? Okay? I'm an amoeba. I'm one cell and I'm in a mud pit. Where did the mud come from? I don't know. I crawl out and I'm a salamander. And then I run from a bigger salamander. Where did he come from? I don't know. And then I start to run on 2 legs. And now, look, I'm a monkey. And suddenly the powers of speech are given to me, and I am Cro-Magnon Man, and I sit as judge at an MSNBC debate asking if you believe in evolution. I didn't like it. I didn't like the debate. I felt bad for the good candidates there, Michelle Bachmann, Ron Paul. People, please wake up. Please wake up. Are you hearing me? Are you listening? Listen to me. Mitt Romney, bad man. Mitt Romney, white Obama. Okay? Here's $50. Kill your baby. Come to Massachusetts. Yes. I'm a Mormon. I never slept with my wife before we got married, and I've given you a health care plan by which if you have a baby you don't want, $50 copay, and you can kill that little booger. You want this man as a president? He's not our friend, okay? This is Romney. Perry is playing the game. I don't trust him. I'll tell you why more as we go forward in our programs. Right now, he clearly is the front runner. Michelle Bachmann, next segment, I'm going to talk to you about her. She should be running ahead of these people, and she could have, except for one man, Ed Rollins. I'll be right back.
In our country, we don't get to vote for laws. We vote for lawmakers who make laws in our name and in our stead. And so if Obama says that he's going to keep killing babies and you support him, then you have participated in the shedding of innocent blood by extension. It is a crime.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylia Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
A nation without a conscience is a nation without a soul. A nation without a soul is a nation that cannot live. Sir Winston Churchill. Michelle Bachmann, you needed me. You needed me to write your press releases. You needed me to encourage you. You want to be president, you have to win the Republican nomination. You want to win the Republican nomination, you have to play to the Tea Party movement right now, to the religious right, to the pro-lifers. That's your base. That's who's going to win this for you. Ron Paul's got to play to them as well, but he's got to play to the libertarian Republicans, okay? He's got a little bit different base. Michelle, who are you playing to? Ed Rollins, God help us, Ed Rollins cut out Michelle Bachmann's guts. From the day he came on this campaign, the woman that she was, fiery, impassioned, articulate, giving us sizzling lines, it all disappeared. And then after the debate last night, he was interviewed at length on MSNBC. And he was asked very pointed questions about her. And rather than say Michelle Bachmann would be a great president, has great foreign policy, he said stuff like, my candidate did a good job. My candidate? What are you a master and you have a dog on a leash? Say her name. Say her name, Ed. Say Michelle Bachmann did great. Michelle Bachmann would make a great president. And then they asked him another question. I don't even remember what the question was. And it was about Michelle. And you know what he said? He said, I would take any one of those candidates on the stage over Barack Obama. Excuse me? You were asked a question about Michelle Bachmann, and you threw her under the bus. You didn't name her, and you dodged the question, and then praised all the other candidates. Folks, This man, Ed Rollins, was Perot's, for a while, Perot's campaign manager or consultant or whatever. He was Governor Huckabee's campaign manager for a while. He's an old part of the old machine, and he is what is wrong with politics. And she made the worst decision that she has made in this entire process was hiring Ed Rollins. And it showed last night, okay? In her performance it showed, and it showed in the things that he said about her after the fact. She should have run away with that. She's attractive, she's articulate, she's young, she's a woman. And the country right now is ready for a woman to say things with a little bit of sass that a woman can say and get away with. That's why Sarah Palin is still so popular. I'm telling you right now, Michelle Bachmann is squandering, every day that goes by, she is squandering her opportunity to win this nomination. It's slipping through her fingers because she's trying to look too presidential, playing to the center prematurely. Michelle, run to the right, doll, ma'am, miss, madam, whatever you want to call yourself. Pretty congresswoman, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Run to the right, okay? If she stood up there and she looked and she turned her head and just gave a little sassy comment to Romney or to Perry, it would have brought the house down. You know what I'm talking about? If she looked at him and said, well, sugar, I mean, something like that lady who was governor in Texas, Ann Richards. Ann Richards used to do this and get away with it. That's what I'm talking about, people. All right, I've got to take a break. Before the break, let's lighten things up, okay? Let's play QE3. Let's look at Mr. Bernanke printing money, counterfeit money, monopoly money. And Mrs. Bachmann, I apologize if I said anything that was rude or inappropriate. I like you. I'm your friend. I want you to win. QE3, break. I'll be back in a minute.
Now this here race is about QE 1, 2, and 3. Will the dollar make it through QE 3? There's a lot of people that think it's going to get bogged down in that third mud pit. Let's watch and see.
My oh my. What a stick in the mud.
QE 3. Let death come upon them. Let them go down to Sheol alive. Let them go away in terror into their graves. But I call upon God, and the Lord will save me. Amen.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylea Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
Ronald Reagan said, "I used to say that politics is the second oldest profession, but I've come to realize that it bears a gross similarity to the first." If you know what the joke's all about, you can laugh. If not, ask someone. What does that mean? The second oldest profession? Yeah. Friends, I love this country. I love Ronald Reagan. I want to see America restored. You might have noticed last night that no questions were asked about child killing, homosexual marriage, homosexuals in the military, the key moral issues that are helping to destroy this nation. They talked a lot about the economy, foreign policy, trade, deficits, Social Security, all these things, each of them in their turn having importance. But do you believe that there is a God in heaven who made rules? And do you believe that there is a cause and effect in the world? We are destroying ourselves on the installment plan, okay? We're killing our babies. We're bringing down literally the curse of heaven upon us, and those things weren't even discussed. We need moral, righteous people to come back into government. And friends, so far with the Republicans, I'm not sure I'm seeing it.